So today on the Techno Funk Boys channel, we are going to take a look at the recent changes to racial traits that Wizards of the Coast put out in Unearthed Arcana and how that might affect any kind of future Dragonlance project. Hey everybody, it's Paul from the Techno Funk Boy. So quite a while ago, we started on this channel what the series was called was Dragonlance for 5th edition, but really what it was just as I've been running a Dragonlance game, I've been doing videos trying to give some tips, point out some stuff for DMs who are wanting to run this game, putting some ideas out there, some tweaks, some changes, some additions, some subtractions, as well as some ideas on if you do want to play this in 5th edition, how you might go about it. And when I started that, I did not at all expect to have to deal with current events, frankly, at all. But since that time, we've had a Dragonlance lawsuit that has gone away. Now we're having new novels I'm pumped about, and increased rumblings of a Dragonlance campaign setting that from Wizards of the Coast that we are. It has been quite a while since we had up to date Dragonlance material. We did have 3.5 edition Dragonlance stuff, but that's been quite some time ago, and so this property is prime for a reboot, and so I know a lot of you and as well as me are looking forward to perhaps having a full Dragonlance setting in 5th edition. That would make part of my channel obsolete. I do understand that, but I'm okay with that since part of what I've been doing has been giving ideas on converting the original modules into 5th edition. So then the new Unearthed Arcana came out, and I read it a week ago. I've been planning to do this video since then, and trying to get some other stuff out of the way, and finally sat down and started working on it. And as soon as that happens, Tracy Hickman posts a meme and Twitter gets mad at him, and I'm not even prepared to go into that topic at all, but I still want to touch on this because this is something that could have real consequences in Kryn. So this came up as a note in the most recent Unearthed Arcana. Now, if you're not familiar with Unearthed Arcana, this is like test material, play test material, okay? These are ideas that they're throwing out that will probably end up in a book at some point, perhaps even in a modified form. But it's just, hey, guys, play with this and see how it goes. This particular Unearthed Arcana was all about kind of what they're calling what was it they're called? Gothic lineages, and so this is how to play a Dhampir, a Hexblood, Reborn. So a bunch of cool Gothic ideas to play with, which, by the way, it'd be cool if we got some more Ravenloft stuff. Just saying, perhaps it's pointing to that. But I would be pumped to see more horror based campaigns coming out of Wizards of the Coast. So this might hint toward that. But in the middle of this all, this design note is placed in there. And it does address that this trend really kind of started in earnest in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, where it really started kind of stripping away the differences between the traditional races and you know, kind of made things more across the board even, and it was put in there as an option. At this point, they're going a step further, and essentially what they're saying, and you certainly read this, but essentially what they're saying is anything about the race that is culture based, we're getting rid of it. Anything that is inherent to the biology, and what we're talking about is like for the Dragonborn, breath attack, dark vision, that is staying in. But any sort of any sort of trait that there's a group might share because of culture, we're just doing away with that completely. And that does include like ability score increases and that sort of thing. All right, so part of this I really have questions about, because it does say, we can jump back there real quick. Racial traits henceforth reflecting only the physical or magical realities of a player character being a member of a particular lineage. That stuff we're going to keep, but ability score trait increased traits are out, and I do have questions on this, because there are, there absolutely is a cultural influence on, on these certain aspects of life. Absolutely. But if you don't think that there's a physical aspect to that too, especially when we're dealing with races that are, so physically different, as are halflings, dwarves, elves, humans, etc. And saying that there is no, but besides like possible dark vision, that there's not a physical difference between a halfling and a half orc is not dealing with reality. And I do realize saying that we're not dealing with reality. All right. I do realize this is a fantasy world. But it's so I have, we have to see how this plays out. Right. But I think this has a bigger impact on Dragonlance than we might immediately think, because Dragonlance actually took the cultural differences between the races and emphasized them more. It actually created more of them. And Dragonlance really leaned into that. And so that's why, they took the gnomes and just amped them up and created Tinker Gnomes with them. Now, we have gnome information, so I don't know that they even publish it in any sort of source book, but they definitely would for Kinder, right? And are you going to tell me that we're going to wipe away cultural differences amongst the Kinder? The cultural influences of Kinder is the thing that makes them special, And this is my inherent issue with a lot of this movement, as well-meaning as it is this has been a 5th edition thing to kind of grind down the differences between the characters so that everybody is mostly the same. But in doing so, we take away the things that really make make certain groups all the more memorable and special. I think that this like this approach hits Kinder harder than most of the races. We've been grinding down the differences between the other races for a long time, but because Kinder have been stuck out on Kryn that hasn't gotten a lot of love, they've basically been left alone. And I think because Tasselhoff has been such a beloved character, that has also helped, but and just to jump universes completely. But one of the things that makes Drizzt Do'Urden's story so special is because of who the Drow are. As a group, as a culture. And when we start wiping away the cultural differences, then we start wiping away what made Drizzt's story so special. We start wiping away what made Tasselhoff so special. And granted, what we're talking about in this article are the numbers, and not necessarily that you can't, you shouldn't play Kleptomaniac Kinder. And of course it does say, DMs are empowered to customize the features of the creatures. I don't think they meant that to rhyme. The features of the creatures in their game as they wish, which is one of the great things about about these games, and suffice it to say, if they try to take away those cultural aspect from the Kinder, if they do publish a book, I'm probably going to buy the book, and in my Kinder are going to be Kinder, the old fashioned Kinder. And I'll just hide up here in my room with the lights off so nobody knows I'm doing it. So granted, I'm projecting out a little bit on this, and I do realize that's not totally what they say. But I'm also on Twitter, and I hear what people say, and what in what they are trying to accomplish in this, and I do think that it actually hurts a couple of aspects of it. First of all, is the role play aspect of it. We have so many games with people who are just playing furry superhero versions of themselves, which is fun to do every once in a while. But that's taking away the role play out of role playing games, if you know what I mean. But the second one is it ruins the diversity of the party. We've been so worried about the diversity of the table. But one of the great things about Dungeons and Dragons is it is a team sport. And if each individual person can do everything, then what do we need everyone for? Why are you here? And that's when we start getting articles about how to include, the introvert at your table more in your game. Well, the old way we did that is that character brought something to the table that no one else brought. If that character was the thief, then they were included a lot. Because, it's like, hey, I think this is trapped. Come on, thief, help us out here. If that person was the cleric, then they brought something. Cleric, I'm hurt. Can you heal me so we get back into the fight? In the modern game, when everybody can do everything, then you don't have as much of that necessity of the team. You know, you can have the super vocal person at the table just do everything, and everybody else feels left out. So that's why we start having articles about we need to include everybody and how to manage that. All that to say is you know, as I mentioned earlier, like, you know, Wizards of the Coast can put whatever they want in the book. You know, the Kinder that we know and love are going to be just fine at my table. But I do think that overall we're missing out on something, and it does raise concerns for me if they do a Dragonlance book, which it's not been confirmed at all, just speculation. But if they do a Dragonlance book, they're taking a property that really leaned heavily into culture and what these cultures are bringing to the world in very cool ways. We're coming into a world with a product that doesn't want to acknowledge those differences, and in not acknowledging the differences, we're actually ignoring the great things that they're bringing to the world, and that is my concern. If you do like talking about Dragonlance, I do that a lot here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. I got a couple of video game music reaction videos coming out very, very quickly, and so please stay tuned to that. You can find out tons of ways to contact me below, including Discord server, where we want to have more Dragonlance conversations, and so come and talk to us about it, and we'd love that. Otherwise, really appreciate you hanging out with me today, and hope to see you again soon.